the echo?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
the speakers. We good.
Oh, okay. All right. Levels is good. We
Levels is
good.
good. Y'all good.
All right.
Thank you,
So-
everybody, for waiting patiently. Shout out to y'all. Another episode of Finesse and Chill. We're a little late today.
Running a little behind schedule, but we got things figured out last minute.
I'm going to talk about some things. Now, there's a lot of events going on. Battle Rap fans, we know you want to hear it, but we got a few cards, few things we'll get into. But, you know, we got to talk our tea
Talk
real
our
quick
shit real
first.
quick. But before we talk our shit, we should shout out Prism. They had a card this weekend on Saturday,
And let
we
me-
could not make it.
Yes, I want to say that. Shout out to Prism. Shout out to Sarah Khan. I really wanted to surprise Sarah because since Sarah started Prism, it's always been a snowstorm when I tried to go. I think one day I was like moving in the snow and I couldn't go. So this time V kept saying, we're going to go to Prism. We're going to go to
do
Prism.
it
We're going
Saturday,
to go.
we're
We're going to
doing
surprise
this.
Sarah. And we couldn't make it. And I literally watched almost every battle through clips that people were posting online and was going through. And I'm a fan of some. Let me go back to it because a lot of these guys were fire, yo. And I was like, I really wish that we would have made it. Shout out to Prism Battle
I even
League.
hit her up. So shout out to Sarah Kano for putting it together. Wish we would have been there, but there's gonna be more. So
Yes,
we'll definitely
We Go
make
Hard.
it to those.
We Go Hard had an event. Shout out to We Go Hard. Now I have to shout out my boy Lex. Shout out to iBattle. We went to iBattle recently. It's always a good time with Lex at iBattle. But
I will say though, different crowd of people, different environment. It's cool to see like different sides of this.
it definitely is, and we said that last time. Like a URL event, the crowd and the vibe is different.
Everyone's louder. Everyone's cheering. And this crowd was more like.
Can you put the mic in front of you, please?
Me?
Of course we.
Mike's all the way over there. I'm looking like.
I didn't even think of that. You're
I know I'm
right.
loud, so I know I don't need to mic check.
Her mic is all the way to the left.
We was like, me?
You're
You talking to me?
You can move it back a little bit.
Jill Scott it.
Jill Scott.
You said Jill Scott it.
All right, you hear me? Levels.
No, see, it's still on the side of you. Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Jill.
Come on, Jill.
Love on this.
I love these microphones. I'm gonna
taking my
tattoo
nail
one of
out.
these. So, like we were saying, all the battle rap events, the vibe is different. We Go Hard has a different crowd than a URL battle. RBE has a different crowd from that. iBattle has a different crowd. Always fun. I don't like when I bump into people or there'll be different celebrities that are like, oh, I would go to a battle rap, but y'all crazy or nah. I
Or
can't,
like it's a wild environment.
yeah, and I'm like, what? Like, you can't what? I'm like, it's like a family reunion in there. Everybody gets along good. But iBattle is having an event February 9th. There's
shit.
so much going on.
Hold on. Andrea Speak said, my Jay Bizzle out of Columbus just battled on iBattle.
See?
That's lit.
Check
Shout
it
out
out.
to him. Shout out to Ohio.
And this is day one, so there's obviously more. So make sure y'all follow Lex. I'm Lex Luthor. Crucible 3, February 9th. That day one card is up. Lex is actually battling Danny Myers in March. Let me see on what event is that? Battle of the Bars, hosted by Troy. That's going down in Jersey. Shout out to Lex, man, who is constantly balancing getting to where he wants to be in battle rap and at the same time being a league owner and making opportunities for other people. So shout out to Lex and iBattle, man. Make sure him versus Danny Myers, that's gonna be crazy. If anybody's seen a Lex battle, you know that kid is funny.
I can't wait. I love funny battles.
Right.
It's like, it's more, I don't know, it's entertaining. It's like, you don't know what's going to be said next, and it's always some real dumb shit. I'd be like, how do they think of that?
All right.
So,
Always laid back. Now, I know everybody wants to talk URL Volume 4, but we'll get into that towards the end of the episode. We'll give a little predictions. You know, I don't like to do predictions and talk about some other events we got going on, but it's tea time real quick. We need to get all of this tea out that we've been holding in for the last week or so. I don't know if you guys noticed. I don't want to say since February started, maybe since January started, but the last couple of weeks have been insane. not even in my life, but I feel like in
Just
celebrity and like
overall.
media, every day there's something drastically crazy going on, and there's always a obnoxious headline. So throw them at us, V.
Oh my God, where do I start? Actually, there's like a couple coming out of like the woodworks, right? So we have, before we get into the more serious ones, let's get into like the what the fuck is going on in the world right now kind of ones, right? So apparently this whole Chris Brown situation, right? I watched the
You
podcast.
caught me off guard with that one. I was like,
I know. It's totally left field. But I just remembered that, you know, the whole allegations from the girl that was in Paris or France or wherever she was. And she was saying...
What's the update with that?
Well, she lied. So he's now going to sue her in return.
Which I think is the right thing to do.
But he's not going to get anything because she doesn't have anything. So it's like pointless. Like, you're not doing anything to her by doing that, basically. She's not learning her lesson. So now Remy was talking about this on Joe's podcast. And she was saying that there should be some type of law. There should be like something in place.
Right. I was just going to say that.
For women that are coming out and are basically making fun of real victims that, you know, actually happen to, and then lying about this and ruining people's lives.
It's sick. That's really sick to me. For you to pretend you got raped is sick. If you pretend you're pregnant, you're a sicko. If you go to the extreme to try to pinpoint someone, the word itself should not be thrown around like that. That's not something you play with. There's people who genuinely went through that don't even want to say that or talk about that or put that stigma to their name. So for you to go out your way to do that and lie about it, and
for coins,
right,
like for
like,
money,
have you no shame, girl? Ew, Tui.
That bitch is crazy to me. I mean, I see the come up. So if you didn't get in his bed and have a baby, you're figured going to hell, bro. You're gonna do that instead. But come on, girl, like,
you're going to hell.
Things like this ruin lives.
There definitely should be something put in place for that. I agree. Suing her, all right, who really got it enough to sue? Like, you know, who's suable in this case if it's not the celebrity? So at this point, like Remy said, there needs to be something legally in place, an example made out of this girl. I want a crazy sentence.
There should be some type of legal action.
Like, you know how you get attempted murder? That's whatever years that person could have got for rape. You should get that for lying on rape. Right. Because you're attempting to put somebody away for those years.
By the way, this is
some Democrat girls.
There you go. This is some real shit. And let's just get it out the way that even when you do go to jail for raping someone, it's like minimum 3 years. Insane. They're not even doing like the real. I think something that serious should have like a longer minimum like 15 years. And I don't care what anyone says, because you end up ruining lives when you do this. Like, someone has to live with this for the rest of their life. So why should you have 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? That's light.
That's endangerment. That's like, right. That's creepy to me. And now, Chris Brown, a lot of people came to his defense. One thing I will say, with, you know how people are in the media and how grimy they could be. Chris Brown is one of the few people that, although he's had a serious high-profile crime in the past, not everybody was quick to be like, oh, Chris Brown is a rapist. I feel like as a nation, we kind of all stood quiet for about an hour or two. Joyner Lucas put a post and was like, no, I know Chris Brown real well. He wouldn't need to do that. He don't have to do that.
Honestly, when it came out, I thought the same thing. Like, okay, Chris did his shit and he had some mistakes and he did a couple of fuckboy things. But
not after royalty. Not after his
he's
daughter.
Grown since. We don't know at the end of the day what he's willing or capable of doing. But I really think that he's not in that mind state to want to fuck up his career, his brand, everything.
He's actually coming out with a t-shirt line called "That Bitch Is Lying." Yep, swear to God.
Remy said she'd wear it. She was like, send me a shirt and I will wear the fuck out of that shirt.
Because as a woman, if we're going to be honest and support other women, then that's taking serious the women that have been raped
Exactly.
or went through shit. For you to turn around and do, especially for money, you're disgusting. But we're gonna
Listen, Chris, send us shirts. We want these shirts.
Yes,
I will wear.
I'll definitely
shirt.
wear that bitch was lying, because I don't think that is okay. But also, disclaimer, I also don't think it's okay that every time a girl comes out or there's a big case in the news that everybody is quick to say, oh, it's what she was wearing, oh, she was lying, oh, this is that, until the rape kit is put in place. I don't want to hear anybody saying anything like that, and vice versa. Right. So one thing that did come out in the news during Super Bowl, shout out to everybody who stuck to their guns about protesting the Super Bowl, not seeing the Super Bowl. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hashtag wear with Cap.
Wear with Kaepernick. Now I will say, growing up, I always want to know the commercials.
That is Super true. Bowl, I do miss the commercials. They were the best part.
People spend millions of dollars on these commercials. So through the whole, I was just like getting the itch. Like, I have to see a commercial. I need to know what commercials they're doing Super Bowl. But what I will say is, this is the first time in the last, no, this is the lowest ranking Super Bowl, lowest watched in the last 10 years.
I love it.
So the statement was definitely made. I didn't see the performance. I saw Adam's shirt was off by the end and his tattoos were all out.
I heard something about nipples being out.
Supposedly he took his shirt off at the end. That was to distract people from who was mad at him, because a lot of people were mad that he even took the money and did it. One random thing, is that I remember Travis Scott saying the only reason he did Super Bowl was because whatever they were going to pay him, he would donate. But then I heard, you don't get paid for Super Bowl. That's a privilege to you.
To have it out there.
That's why Jay-Z said, you don't need me, I don't need you.
Well, see, and that's the best fucking way in this world.
What we talking about?
Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back. Let's welcome you in, actually. This is an NFL conversation.
This was the lowest
Did you watch
viewed?
the Super Bowl?
Okay, what did you think this year?
Oh, no, he's not with Cap, though. We can't talk to him. You can't sit with us now.
You're not with Kaepernick?
What happened?
With Colin Kaepernick, you're not protesting football?
I understand what he's doing, and I appreciate what he's doing. But, yo, Akon said it best. Like, I just saw an interview with Akon today, and he was like, listen, everybody has their own thing. You know what I mean? Because you agree, you know, with Kaepernick doesn't mean you got to sacrifice yourself to do what he's doing.
Your whole family's been watching football?
Yeah, he wasn't mad at Big Boy and them getting the bag. Right? Like, again, you were y'all in Brooklyn protesting with the people in jail?
No, but we gotta get into that
too. Was y'all
at
the Underground Railroad helping Harriet? You know what I mean? It's like you can fuck with the movement. You know what I mean? You can understand it and appreciate it, but you don't necessarily have to be rolling with every movement and denying your life for these movements.
I get you. But in return, here's what I have.
Rebuttal.
Okay.
We did this with 2 Oxtails and Empanada last night, so we could do it again.
Oh, yeah? They had something similar or the same thing?
We were talking about the same thing. Okay. Of course, everybody probably was. Go ahead.
Now, if you have people banding together as what's happening right now, like she just finished saying, go ahead, say it again. Jill's got it in the mic.
We're with Kaepernick?
Yeah, like you said it was the lowest viewed.
Oh, this year was the lowest viewed Super Bowl in the last 10 years.
Okay.
So the movement itself
is
working.
The message,
working.
Right? The message
is out there. So now my thing is, like, because of this movement and because of everyone coming together for this movement, now you have companies that are gonna look at this and be like, this is not as good as it used to be.
I spent $5 million for this commercial, but not as many
Which
people watched.
BTW, Cardi had her portion cut out of the commercial because she was so much with the I'm not performing Super Bowl, I don't want to be at Super Bowl.
Commercial.
They had a Pepsi commercial, but when they first aired, it came on after Super Bowl, her part. During Super Bowl, they showed, who was it, T-Pain in it? And the other person.
It was, I saw, what's his name?
Oh,
Little John.
Little John.
And Cardi was in it.
I thought they said, so allegedly what was supposed to happen was Cardi's portion was supposed to be cut out anytime it played during the Super Bowl. But once Super Bowl was over, they were going to play the whole commercial.
I know there was a couple of different
Versions of it.
Yeah, versions.
So they probably was like cutting it up and stuff like that. Like that's like the extremes that people were going.
But see, that's my point though. It's like you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I mean, either you're going all the way with something,
right,
or you're not. And I posed the question yesterday. Like, did any of the football players that were black, is anybody mad at them?
Did anybody
mad at the people that work for the NFL that's black? You know what I mean? It's like some things you can actually go ahead and be a part of.
Right,
some things you just can't, man. You know what I mean? You still got to live your life. You still got to feed your family. And so I agree with Kaepernick. I'm with him 100%. You know what I mean?
We biracial, just like Kaepernick.
And then let's talk about lowest viewed, right?
Right.
Let's talk about it should have been the super lowest view because no black person should have watched the Super Bowl yesterday.
That was the case.
If you want to get technical, if you're going with Kaepernick, don't watch the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree.
And then when I was talking to Smoke at 2 Oxels and Empanada, he was like, yeah, but, I grew up on the Super Bowl. And,
so that's what I was going to say. If your family...
You 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
I was going to say that if you grew up with like a football family, your grandparents, everybody.
Most
and then
people did.
Yeah.
So...
I see. I think it's losing its mojo. I will say that it definitely wasn't the same from what I hear. But with
sorry, but either way, the Patriots keep going into the Super Bowl and winning, so it doesn't even make it fun to watch because you already know who's gonna win. I had a debate with Ored about this. We were going back and forth because I'm like, it's so predictable. I mean, I do feel like I am a genie of some sort because I could kind of like predict what's gonna happen and then it happens. So I told him, I'm like, I bet you that I would, if I put money in this game, I would win. Now I didn't do it though, but I should have because I would have won. I would have had it in another bag in my pocket.
She would have had that champion check from Ored.
If I would have bet it, I would have bet it on the Patriots anyway because the Rams were supposed to be there.
But that's why I didn't even bet because I knew that he wouldn't bet against me. You know, like that is the clearest bet you can make is the Patriots. So anyway, fuck the NFL.
Fuck them.
What I will say is like you said, with everything going on, NFL that went down. Yandy. Now, people were making fun of.
I'm not a fan of her.
Right. See,
I've lost interest in her throughout the years.
I've never really been a fan of her. I've always thought she was extra and she was an actress. And
see, now I followed Yandy before Love and Hip Hop. And to me, once she was on Love and Hip Hop, it watered her down. I was just like, I
didn't know who she was before Love and Hip Hop.
I only followed her because she was always an intern. She was always a radio intern. Okay. She was always a hip hop intern. So she made her way up in there.
Gotcha.
So for her to be on Love and Hip Hop and then you got to know her life, it's like, So when she first was outside of the jail, what was that, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Brooklyn jail.
Brooklyn Detention Center.
Brooklyn Detention Center had no lights, no heat, no running water, nothing. So Yandy goes out there.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That's crazy wild.
What was it?
Well, not to mention, it's not the most comfortable fucking places anywhere.
Yeah.
Especially in detention centers and the county jails and shit like that. Trust me.
But to not
I've
have
heard
heat,
shit.
That is. So imagine on
I've
top
heard the
of
horror
that.
stories.
That is inhumane as fuck.
You don't know what inhumane is until you sat in a fucking county jail.
No, thank you.
I was thinking about doing a fucking documentary on it. I just don't have the resources. It's the worst fucking experience. It will humble the shit out of you.
We might be able to help.
That's a fact. And the craziest.
But finish the story.
The craziest part of it is that when Yandy went out there at first, people on social media was like, there go Yandy, doing it for the grams again, doing it for the grams. I
never know what's real or fake anymore.
There were some dramatic points, but it was a serious issue, bro. It was very serious.
Definitely.
And shit got done. And what broke my heart to a million pieces was they went out there, they protested for them to get light, water running, food, all this stuff. A day later, the state itself and different people are sending blankets. They're sending food. They're sending everything they could except electricity, obviously, because they couldn't send that. So Yandy makes an announcement. Thank you, God. Thank you, everybody. We finally got the blankets. Everything's delivered. This was like 3, 4 in the afternoon. Everybody's thinking it's good. They're calling their family, the people inside, to let them know they didn't give a shit.
How are they calling their family with no electricity?
They're still doing this. I don't know. You know, people got text messaging. Oh. I saw a live.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's true either.
Right. But what they showed was, I saw a live from inside the jail. The dudes all covered their face with the shirts and stuff like that, because there's a group, when we in the roast group, they have people in jail that go live in there. That's all true. The time.
All the time.
So dudes from in there went live. They had their faces covered, everything, and they were telling, they showed you how the toilet wasn't flushing. They put the camera by the door so you could see that everybody outside together eating and chilling. We're all bundled up. Everybody got shirts on them. Everybody's like, they're like, no fights are gonna happen today because everybody's so cold. Like, everybody just wants body heat. Everybody's just chilling. People had pneumonia. Now you got the fever. Wow. You're walking around on these cold ass floors. Everything's cold as hell in there. So then, boom, Yandy starts crying. This is when people said she got dramatic, but you have to understand why she's dramatic. She's standing outside of that jail. Mm-hmm. Everybody's banging on the windows. So she gets on the megaphone. She said, y'all made me tell these people that they delivered blankets. She was like, bang on the window if you didn't get no blankets. And they all started banging on the window. Bang on the window if there's still no light, no food, this, that. And all you heard was, I started crying like that. To hear everybody banging on that window like that was crazy. Yandy done try to walk through the door and get maced. She done got maced.
Well, that's the part. Like, everything else was like, cool, that's you trying to do this. That's a good thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah,
even
I can't
I'm not a fan of her.
with that if you rushing the jail.
What the fuck was you inside there for? I didn't get that.
What were you doing?
That I didn't get. And I saw them toss her out. Now, I have to say, I don't think they just fucking around and say, oh, come here, bitch, and threw her out. Something happened inside there that made them throw her out.
Clearly, because that's crazy.
My thing is...
So how do you feel sorry for somebody that puts themselves in a predicament like that, and then that happens to you? They say, oh, that's fucked up. Well, what happened? Nobody's seen what happened inside the jail.
My thing is, you had to go full force for them to mace you. If you're outside with a camera crew and a megaphone, chances are they're not going to want to do anything to you. That, like, she had to have, like, really tried to walk up in the jail and got ahead of herself.
To get maced.
Right, to
and
get...
then run outside and say you got maced. I'm sorry, but...
She might have wanted to go to the extreme. Now... I will say her husband's in jail. Shout out to Mendici. So, you know, we know how that is. She's compassionate about the cause. I get it. But why she had a sling on 2 days later? What was the sling for? Like, if she got maced,
tossed out of jail and maced, she trying to get that lawsuit. She's supposed to have a neck brace on too.
Right.
I'm so
you gonna do it.
I was thinking that, but you said it. But all jokes aside, regardless of how extra she was making it, the girl was doing the right thing, and things got done. And I hope...
She was doing the right thing to a certain extent.
It's like a Bronx Tale. You did a good thing for a bad man.
I'm done.
That's my shit.
Right? So she was doing a good thing.
It's a fucking 100,000 quotes from that movie.
Yes. For the wrong reason.
But you see, again, man, we'll go back to the Kaepernick thing, too. Like, there are limits to what you're allowed to do when you're trying to protest and help people. Mm-hmm. You know, don't put, like, when people getting arrested, you know, and getting, you know, being too forceful with these already aggressive police officers and shit. They waiting for you to do something. Don't get yourself hurt trying to
make a point.
Help somebody or make a point. Don't do that.
Don't get beat up trying to do a good thing.
I never understood that.
Don't get yourself in trouble.
And people used to wild on Martin Luther King because he wanted to do a non-violent protest. Because trying to, you know, being violent ain't gonna do nothing but give them what they want.
What they want, and give the people. Violent. Which, real quick, I was gonna go into. Let me save that real quick. I was going to go into...
she got the pen out.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose this. But speaking of that, did you see how everybody was clapping back at what's this child's name? Tommy Lauren again, the blonde chick. She's a conservative and she's nasty about everything that she stands for.
You've heard of her before?
No.
You know, you've seen her. Yeah, look her up. You've seen her. She got on. Okay, so for
What's
those,
her name?
Tomi Tomi Lauren, LAHREN.
Right up.
Yeah, because I'm putting it.
I'm sure it does.
I need to put people up on this. So for
That's
those that
when
don't know
Cardi
her,
said, "I'll dog walk you." I was trying to explain that to you last week.
She makes herself relevant by saying rude things that come across as racist. Now, a lot of people say she's not racist. She's all for the country. But let me tell you why she's racist. Because the things that she pinpoints are very racist. She said Beyonce's husband is a drug dealer. Like, that's how she talks about Jay-Z. Like, yeah, because she, right. But the way she says, she's like, why? Because she married a drug dealer. So why would she be protesting a black rights movement? Like, she's nasty.
And she has an answer, and she has like this way about her that makes it seem like you're an idiot and only she knows the right.
Yeah, and then she's like real pipe. Like, I don't know how she's like, yeah, because then let me tell you something, what I'll do to this girl if I ever saw this girl.
Some of the shit
but
she's
see,
saying,
so that's how you should not
react.
Come to a debate. And I've been learning this. I think I told you too. I think I was telling you that I got into an argument with MAGA supporters about this whole Jussie situation.
Yes, she called Black Panthers a terrorist group. Go ahead. And she made Black Lives Matter seem like an anti
like it was a violent
movement.
A violent movement, like something that is enticing the public to do things that they normally wouldn't.
You know what's happening? She's becoming popular and she getting money.
Right, that's what it is.
Ignorance.
She's capitalizing off of everyone's reactions. And that is what social media is doing to us nowadays.
Yeah, and so this time she got herself in a little pickle because she tried to talk about 21 Savage, which we're going to go into, and she made a joke like, you got, how she said it? How does, M's in my bank account. Oh, she said you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ICE agents ready to run you down. So even though Cardi and Nicki always beefing, everybody came together to come at her, and the game killed her. He pulled up pictures of her before she was like popping, and
the
she
big
had no
forehead.
Eyebrows.
Yo, she had a 5 head. This girl had
something.
A huge.
So she was trolling 21 Savage situation,
and
she trolls everyone.
Yeah, and she has
whatever ideas, whatever positive things are happening, she trolls.
She trolls.
She loves Trump. She's for Trump.
Yeah. She's
for the wall. She hates immigrants. She hates, like, she's just
pro
everything that
Let
sucks.
me tell you, people go against everybody on social media.
You shouldn't have never gave fucking regular people cameras.
Yep.
And
you could write anything you want on social media. Mm-hmm. I wrote on this girl's post one day because she had Trump socks, and I said something about like her, no curses, nothing. I was blocked from commenting on Instagram for
my God.
3 days.
Wait, so that's what I wanted to say.
Oh, the MAGA supporters.
I got into it with these MAGA supporters because one of them was gay and he was a minority. So I'm looking at him like, how are you wearing this hat? And he, not only is he wearing it, he has thousands of followers. So he has people that are looking at him. I guess he's like a newscast guy or some type of, I don't know. He does some type of shit like that. He has a following, and he's telling his fans and his supporters to go wear their hats. Like, they should not be scared. They should not be shamed into wearing their hats. Go out and freely wear your hats because it represents making this country great. So I go on the post, and I know what they want from us is to react angry and to be ignorant and to be like, fuck you, I'll fuck you up, da da da. Like, you're not getting nowhere.
They're wild, they're ignorant.
Right. You're not getting nowhere doing that. You're just spreading hate, and you're just gonna keep getting the same thing back, and we're not getting nowhere. So there's no point. So I'm like, let me try to have a conversation with these people and see what it is that they say, or how can they explain to me how is he gay and sees what happened to Jussie and say, "Oh, this is a peaceful symbol." No, it's not. How could you say that this is something to wear in support of making our country better when this is what you're doing?
And I have a friend that is big into politics. It's something that we could talk about all day, every day. It's something that you want to be proud of. This is your country. And she made a good point the other day. We were having a drink and she was like, bro, I can't even be proud of my country until he gets out of office.
Pretty much.
When Obama was president, it was America this, America that. You could represent your country. It's almost like you to cheer for America right now means like hate. In a way.
Right.
And it's like if we say, oh, they're racist, everybody's like, oh my God, why does it happen? It is like that. Like, that's just what it is, bro.
You know what's fucked up?
Oh, he got the serious look.
It's always hard for me to really explain it, but it's really fucked up that, you know, we all have freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So everybody has a right to say what they want to say. But I think the fucked up thing is that with everybody being able to do blogs, do shows, you know, everything can be recorded on your phone and uploaded. You know what I mean? There's too many. You know, there was a time where as though you had to be a credible person to have a TV show.
And have a voice.
Now it's just like anybody can have a voice. And the sad part is that everybody that has a voice and that has a big following is not necessarily a safe bet.
Right.
And it's so sad that there's nothing you can do about it. So now you have this person that probably got beat up in school, you know, never had a life, and now they can get on here and do what they do behind a camera or behind a microphone and do dumb shit.
Look at, what was that, a
and
mayor?
Get people to follow them.
A mayor, a senator, that they pulled up his yearbook picture and he was in blackface, and when his girl, he was at KKK and his girl had a black, it was all in blackface, and they pulled, first of all,
I did see that.
Where's the principal and the yearbook committee that approved this? Like, what?
The principal of the yearbook committee.
Like,
he was an older dude, so what was, you know his name? Because you gotta remember
Senator Blackface.
You gotta remember
yeah,
the racism, the shit that was allowed,
right,
pretty much was still happening like around the 60s and the early 70s.
Exactly.
So yeah, you say that shit was normal. You know what I mean? So back then, not that I'm not justifying it. It's definitely wrong.
But in that same sense, kids don't realize, like you said, how close that was. It's not like this was 50, 75 years ago. This was bam, like this was right there.
Yeah. And then you got those parents teaching their kids, so that's why racism never fucking dies, because the apple is being passed on, and that shit is so fucking corny, man.
And it's sick. It's sick.
So fucking corny.
Mind you, so these guys, I'm trying to have a good, productive conversation.
A good debate.
And I actually stumbled onto the picture just because I wanted to see how many people were going to be like, you know, like, what the fuck? What are you doing? What are you wearing? What? Like, everyone was like, oh my God, I love you. You're so courageous. Oh my God, you're an inspiration. I wish I could be as brave as you are. I wish that I could be outside wearing it like you. Would just be careful because you're in New York City. And the most ratchet part of me was like, oh, you're in New York. Where are you? Let's talk, but you're not getting nowhere being that way. So I tried to have a conversation, and all I said was, how is this hat of a symbol of freedom? How is this hat a symbol of anything good at all, when all these nasty things that are happening to people is in light of this hat and what it represents? Like, everyone knows that this is a hate symbol. 2019, a MAGA hat is a hate symbol. I don't care how you say it.
Make America great again. What era are you saying? Because it was never great for minorities.
Right. You got to ask, when was it great?
When was it great? What was great for you? When it was segregated? When there was still slavery? What era would you like to bring it back to? I'm for make America better. instead of great again. So what were some of the things that they said to you? Were anybody saying like hateful shit?
Oh yeah, I had like 6 different people like honestly be completely disrespectful, call me out my name, say a whole bunch of you dumbass bitch, this, that, and I'm like, I really came here to get a conversation and an answer with someone to try to understand from your side why it is that you support this. I really didn't come here to be ignorant, but we could get it there though. So, you know, but it just, I hate that it even has to go to that because I'm really trying to be respectful. I really want to see what they say. So their side of the whole Jussie situation was that whatever happened to him was not by MAGA supporters. It was by people
that don't like MAGA.
And it was like an agenda, basically. He was trying to say that these people went and said that so that it could be a race thing.
Like if a
but
black
it really
person,
wasn't.
You know what? There is a possibility that could have been the case.
It happened.
And they all said that. It was like 6 different people writing back to me. And they were all like, no, that's fake. The newscast is saying this. If you go to Chicago, a police department, and you talk to them, they tell you straight up that nothing was race like intended.
I get it because there are people who will go to those extremes. I understand. If I wanted you to hate Bloods and I'm a Crip, I'm gonna go somewhere screaming blood and make you hate Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that.
Or I'm gonna fuck up a Crip and fuck up
say,
a Blood and say a Crip did it.
Right. Like that. I understand.
And you start a war.
The manipulation, but the noose involved. I can't see any black person doing that.
Did the police have the noose?
See, I didn't.
No, I don't know.
I don't like to deny people and say, "Oh, he lying."
Right.
But it's like, where was the noose? Like they put the noose on him, then they took it off,
and they took it back, or he had it.
Okay, so now here's another.
It's just certain things that make you say.
There's a lot going on
Remember
with
Arsenio Hall? Make you say,
Now let me fuck your head up some more. You guys ready?
I cannot afford for my head to be fucked up anymore.
Well, you can right now. It's cheap enough. So let's do it. So, I saw on Joe Budden's podcast, that shit is lit. I'm sorry, but it sure is. Because it was a whole lot of shit going on today on his shit. So, he was talking about the Jussie situation as well.
Joe Budden was?
Yes. Okay. And he was saying that basically what he thinks happened is Jussie has this man... Or this, yo, you scared the shit out of live and everything. You scared me.
I didn't even say. I was like,
oh,
this guy.
Would you pick the lock?
How you doing, man?
I heard the rain outside, and I was like, wait, is someone here?
How you doing?
Hi.
You was picking the lock?
See,
my bad. Scared of nobody walking in this motherfucker.
That was random.
I got the stick and the burner and the ratchet and the names of the guns. I got them all.
Sure, right behind this door.
Sticks and ratchets. And
so,
go ahead. Where was you at?
Joe Budden said that he thinks what happened was Jussie. There's you know how they said that he was at Subway when this happened?
I thought they said he was in the Subway.
Right. They said that he was at Subway by Subway.
No, he was going to Subway.
Some shit about Subway.
Oh, so it had nothing to do with the train.
No. All right.
It
was Subway, the food store. He was staying somewhere because they're shooting Empire. He left the hotel to get food from Subway, which was a couple doors down. Not in the Subway.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. And then food Subway. So then they go off and say that there's a gay club right there in that area where the Subway is. So that's where he really was. Joe Budden says that he frequents that club all the time. We're talking about Jussie, and he's saying that Jussie has like a boyfriend or something. And the kid must have gotten mad at Jussie being a flirt inside the club. So he waited for Jussie. And then Jussie came out. And then he fucked him up. And all this crazy shit happened. So you know that because you're a celebrity, you're going to have a story out of this. Regardless of what happens.
If you're shooting something, you're filming something. Now you can't go to the set fucked up.
Right. So you have to say something.
As to why your face is fucked up.
Thank you. So let me just repeat that this is Joe Budden. Before you go out, this is Joe Budden.
I can't.
You know, go check his podcast out. You guys can see it.
Subway is open at 2 to 3 in the morning.
A 24-hour Subway. What are you
Where?
talking about? I'm sure there are. There's always stations
the one in the
and
square
stuff
is
like
over to
that.
like 2-ish.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know
okay.
Chicago. I've never been.
Right. I've never been there. I'm just saying what Joe said. All right. This isn't me. This is what Joe said. So, yeah. So he's trying to say that it was another guy. And this was kind of like a situation where you have to cover it up and clean up real quick.
Right, right.
So instead of you saying you got into a domestic dispute with this man, you know, and you just came out not too long ago, you want to cover it up and say, well, no, I got jumped. And, you know, then now you're getting the pity card from the crowd. Now you're getting all this like sad and sympathy and oh my God.
Sounds like an episode of Empire.
Or
They
Scandal.
do shit like that.
Or
all the time.
Scandal.
Okay, this is my thing.
I'm not saying it happened though.
This is Joe
Again.
Budden's. This is Joe Budden's thing on this. And what I was telling V before we went live was, imagine if that was our opinion. Joe Budden says this and everybody's like, wow, this is something to think about. If me or her, if you, Unc, came on here and was like, man, I think he's lying. He probably got beat up by his little boyfriend and he just don't want nobody to know. Do you know how they would come at you and call you a basher and this and that? But Joe Budden says this whole story and everybody's like, wow, this is somebody to think about. Now that's one. My thing is it's crazy how people and trolls pick and choose who they attack for their words and what they're saying. True. Two is, would somebody really go that far out their way instead of saying my boyfriend beat me up to say somebody put a noose around my neck?
Sure.
See, the noose
That's extravagant. If that's the case,
But where's the noose?
He should get in trouble just like Chris Brown's people.
They say that he's also not really being supportive with police at this point. Like he's not really trying to like
Because
talk
he
to
got
them.
holes
He
in his
doesn't
stories.
really wanna...
Let's talk about Subway at 2, 3 in the morning. Let's
but
talk about
how
where's the
dare
news.
you? Someone just got beat and called
But
the
we're
F-bomb.
not- we're not-
How dare we question?
do y'all-
That's like saying, oh, she shouldn't have been wearing a skirt.
Do
She
y'all
wouldn't have got
remember
raped.
Tawana Brawley? Does that name sound familiar to y'all?
Who?
The what?
Tawana Brawley.
Kind of.
Sound familiar to y'all?
I haven't heard of it.
Tawana Brawley. This is one of the girls that actually made what's his name to be fighting for everybody in New York. Now he's in this Congress or whatever now with the hair.
The fuck
is his name?
Now he Cory Booker.
No, not
Oh,
Booker.
I'm like, Booker,
The
that's trying to go
Reverend Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton.
This is the thing that made Al Sharpton really start being very fucking popular
Okay.
off of this. Tawana Brawley claimed she got raped.
Okay.
And this shit was all over the fucking news. I forget who it was that she said she got raped by. That shit went on and on and on, and then guess what? She
lying.
never really got raped. Yo, I mean, you remember Tawana Brawley incident? Damn, y'all niggas is bugging. But what I'm saying is,
Someone
like,
said that they're
this
too young.
thing had got dragged on.
I'm
It was
sorry.
probably the football player kid. There was a kid that was he a college football star, and then they found out he didn't do it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I forget who she accused, but the bottom line was that I'm telling you, like,
That's scary.
this shit was so huge. It caused mass hysteria over
Right.
this shit. And then she wound up coming out saying that she had fucking lied. So
Death
that's why
penalty.
some people do shit for clout. Some people do shit because, like she was saying, or like maybe Joe Budden was saying,
Right.
that maybe something else happened and he had to come up with a better story. We don't know that.
Right.
But all I know is, where's the noose?
Right, I hear
Don't
you.
tell me they put the noose on
But
him and then
here's
took
another-
the noose off.
So,
Hold on. Here's another
how dare
inconsistency.
we be so?
The noose on.
Did he?
Yeah,
Wait,
he
what?
said he went to the police station with the noose on.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh wow.
Like, so I know me personally. if
You
somebody
walk all the way
run
to the
down
police
on me,
station with a
Yeah,
noose.
that's the first thing I'm doing is taking the noose off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Ah.
No, that's
Hey, y'all want to
crazy.
go up in there and join the conversation? What the fuck? You know,
it's up to you.
'cause
That's
this ain't no
crazy.
hangout.
Yeah, I got this.
Well, Debo was supposed to come, but he
Yeah,
he
shout
didn't
out
make
to
it.
everybody that tuned in, waiting for Debo. Debo, we'll be waiting forever, man. So we'll just keep that man in your. Stay tuned, and you'll still hear some stuff from Debo maybe tomorrow.
Now, hold on real quick. I mean,
There's
I'm
more.
going to let y'all
get
sit.
comfy while V
Yo,
finishes
motherfuckers,
the
y'all,
story.
everybody on here, go Google the Tawana Brawley
Oh, okay.
thing.
All right, I'll be in the middle this time.
Sandwich. Okay, so here's another little inconsistency on this case, right? He took
Alright, so
a day.
You're going to have to
Scoot
go
down.
over that.
Oh, okay. I was in a scoop.
You want me to scoot or?
Nah, he good.
He took a whole day to come out and have the whole MAGA like input in the police report. So when he initially made the police report, he didn't even mention that this whole situation with MAGA even happened. He never even said that this was racial. He just said that he got attacked. All of a sudden, you go home for a day, you don't talk to anyone, and then you come back, and then now now the police find out because you did an interview.
That's scary.
That all of a sudden, oh, this is racial. Oh, this is a MAGA thing. Oh, you didn't say that though. Like when we wrote the report down, you failed to mention that. Not saying that that's anything again.
Right.
But it's just little inconsistencies that be making you think like, what is really going on here?
I'm shocked you actually agreeing with it because he's gay. You know.
Right. Yo, we were on the phone for my whole lunch break. Right. That's what I was saying. Yo, me and V was having this conversation for like an hour and a half, yo. And I'm like, but this is crazy.
I don't want to take away. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm 1,000% like not thinking that this happened to him. I'm just saying that there's a lot, like, you know, a lot of people are noticing that there's a lot of inconsistencies when it comes to the story. It's like the rape case that just happened with the girl. Damn, I always forget her name. The girl that got raped in the club.
Oh, I thought you was talking some wild when I was Cali.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
While
See,
she was
that
live.
too.
But
And it turned out to be true.
there
They
was
did
a lot of
rape shit.
inconsistencies. No, she tried
attempted
to.
suicide.
She
The
tried
guy
to.
went live in the dark. Like, bro, you wasn't even
share.
trying to face the camera. We should have known you was lying. Went live in the dark saying, how dare she say that about me? I got a daughter. I got a family. And it was true. He did do it.
He said,
I think he left that part out.
But I understand and I know that sometimes I'm gullible and that you can't think everybody's telling the truth all the time. But when has Jussie ever gave us a reason to think that he would lie about such a thing? And if we all had a gay son, I'm going to go that deep. If we all had a gay son and they went out and came back and told us this, and then people on the radio were like, yeah, he probably got beat up by his little boyfriend and he's just trying to say it. You'd be like, damn, my community failed me.
Of course. I mean, you would never want to be that person that says, that didn't happen. But I just want to know more details. I just want to know. I just want you to fill in the gap.
Well, when he went to his performance, he got up there. His brothers and sisters was up there, and they were saying they didn't want him to perform because they felt like he was still going through shit traumatically. And they were like, part of his healing is to get up here and talk to y'all. So when he talked to the crowd, he cleared up only 3 things. He did nothing about the noose, nothing juicy. But he was like, I didn't walk to the hospital. Such and such took me, which is the producer of Empire. He's like, I didn't.
Where was he? Oh, he called him?
Yeah, I guess because they were all near the hotel. This is all wherever they stay while they're filming.
So he called him but didn't call the police?
I guess so.
I'm just saying.
Man.
I'm just
You
saying.
guys are
The first thing you're supposed to do is
ruthless,
call the
dog.
police, though, right? I'm just saying.
I mean, you want to believe him, but it is a lot of inconsistencies with it.
It's a little loopholes, but
Exactly.
let's get to the bottom of it. That's what I'm talking about.
The noose had me a little crazy.
I couldn't believe that. When I
Jussie,
first read that, I really did get
He's
sad.
out of the
I
motherfucker.
don't know what they're talking about.
They put a noose around him.
What?
Said MAGA country.
You have not heard of this?
The dude from Empire.
Where have you
The
been?
gay
So
What
dude
have you
from
been
Empire.
doing?
Yeah, where you been? How
Tell
you
us-
gonna
tell
act?
us what you've been up to that you haven't
Where you
heard
been?
about Jussie.
I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Like,
You're not into
Yo,
what?
shout out,
Whatever
shout out
Jesse's
Jake
doing.
400 Block.
Listen,
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Well, you know, I know we talked through that shit. We talked through what the first half. That
So,
shit was trash.
so you're not with Kaepernick. Like,
Yeah, for everybody tuning in, man, it's Ali and Jake 400 Block. They in the
You know, I
building.
got a lot of love for
They
Cap
crashed.
personally.
Right.
And you know everything he stand for. Now,
I'm not gonna say a friend of mine, but somebody that I follow on Instagram. His name is Mumain Fitness. He's the brother of Napoleon from the Outlaws.
Okay.
He had made a post the other day in reference to Kaepernick, stating that it was a NBA player. I forgot his name. Muhammad or Madul Rauf, somebody like that. Are you familiar with him, Uncle Rob?
Well, I'm sorry. What was it?
Kareem Abdul-Rauf.
No,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
It's something Abdul Rauf. Anyway, this was an NBA
Abdul-Rauf.
player that back in the day he was one of the best
Shooters.
3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharif Abdul-Rauf.
Yeah, and he
Rauf.
he was actually, I believe he was teammates with Michael Jordan.
Nah.
Well, anyway, he was somebody that was standing up for black people and their rights. He ended up getting blackballed out of the NBA. And he was just comparing him to Kaepernick, and because there was a situation with Cap before he had the season prior to him kneeling, was where he was accused of calling the Chicago Bears player at the time, Lamar Houston, a black nigger.
Oh wow.
And so it was numerous football players and refs that heard him oversay it.
Oh, this is
so,
tea.
Yeah, so it brought up the discussion: is Kaepernick really for black people, or is he doing this for his own personal?
Because he was just about to get caught for dropping the N-bomb.
Well, he actually he pretty much got caught, and then the next season, he had like one of his worst seasons ever, and then they benched him, and then that's when he began to go on the campaign of kneeling and.
So he was gonna get fired regardless, is what we saying.
No, he was ass. He dropped the ball anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he was having one of his. He was having a down season. You know what I'm saying? He was having a down season, and I mean, even if we go back to the 49ers when they were relevant, when they was going to the NFC Championships and the Super Bowl, like they had one of the best defenses in the league. But not to get off track, it's just making sure that we understand like
the full
who
story.
we putting on pedestals. And it's not all the time about racism. But if you want to be for or have or stand for something, then you got to make sure that you stand for it all the time. At the end of the day,
that's absolutely true, though.
But
you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
That's why I got trust issues now, man. This is crazy. I'm gonna go home and YouTube Colin Kaepernick using the N-word and really. But like you said, with everybody, you have to make sure they're doing it for the right reason. Cause let's just say that is why he did. That's a perfect comeback, and that's a perfect way to try to get your job back when you was about to get fired on your day off. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. And 1 minute they love you, and 1 minute they hate you. Just like with Jess Hilarious. Jess Hilarious was going back and forth in comments this week and called somebody FAG. In spite of how everybody's sensitive online, nobody sees that as a word like you would say that to your brother or somebody. Out of all words
in the dictionary that you could possibly use. I mean,
so they are coming at Jess.
But why is that so
why is that so
Muhammad Abdul Rauf, one of the
did the same thing. He didn't want to. He was praying during the anthem.
Yeah. So something similar to Cat, but what they were saying is he actually was blackballed out of the NBA for doing that
indefinitely.
He was one of the greatest shooters. And this was around the time he was trying to get Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson to take a stand with him. And of course, Michael, as well as Magic, was reluctant to do so. And you look at their careers now and where they're at. Michael was put on a pedestal as arguably the greatest of all time as far as basketball is concerned. And Magic went on, even with AIDS, to be one of the best businessmen. And I think he's now the general manager of the Lakers, and he has a stake in the Los Angeles Dodgers as well. So these were people that at their respective times were could have stood up for us, and with the platform that they had, it would have probably made a hell of a difference. Rather than some guy that's going down in history as unknown. We don't hear about Abdul Rauf, or I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right.
Right.
I'm
See,
But
and,
it was
and
his
that's the
re-
point in
But that
itself.
was his religious
But-
belief, though. Like, it wasn't like, it's the people he asked, man. You can't ask
again,
So
so
asking the best, it ain't gonna happen. There's too much money behind the best players in the world. You know what I'm saying? For them, you gotta think. Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem
They
Olajuwon
didn't shut him
still-
out the league, though, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he's
but
one of the greats, and he prayed like, yo, bro, he's Muslim. He prayed before every game. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
at the
Pick
end-
and choose.
Yeah, I guess
It's
it's what
picking
you.
and choosing, and it's who. Man, it's a lot. That business crazy.
It's a
Yeah,
lot
I guess
of
it's what
shady
We
you
seeing it
shit.
right
stand up
now.
for. Like, you know, like
Like
if you go out of your way to stand up for a certain belief that's not conducive to whatever league that, you know, whatever the league wants. You know, at the end of the day, the majority of people that own these teams, you know, are Caucasians or white men that own these teams. Football definitely is. I think it's one owner that's not white. I think the owner that owns the Jags is like he's from the Middle East or somewhere over there. I'm not, you know, exactly sure.
But other than that, it's
Other
all
than that, you know,
dominated.
the majority is
Always been.
white owners. You know, so if you're a player and you're not standing up or representing that team in the manner that they want you
Your
to
coach
represent
ain't
them,
gonna go hard
then
for you
most
like
likely
that.
you're gonna get blackballed. And you could be a Colin Kaepernick, you could be whoever. You know, so that's unfortunate, but that's just, you know.
So I got a question. So let's say Cap did this, right? Let's say after he did that, now every black player in the NFL comes together and follows suit with Cap. Does that make a point? Does it help? Does it hurt?
It depends on what they making. You gotta know what you taking that stand for, because you gotta think a lot of players was already looking at it like, bro, you was about to lose your job. Like, you went to the Super Bowl, you had one of the shittiest seasons ever for a quarterback that just came out the Super Bowl. And then you got caught up with all this, like,
See,
nah,
and
my
that's
nigga,
what
we gotta
everyone is
feed our
saying,
family.
too.
So I'm supposed to stop feeding my family because I want to take a stand because you being ignorant. Like, they might feel like, yo, you being ignorant, bro.
That's
Like,
an
it ain't
excellent
about the
point.
national anthem
Right.
or nothing. You being ignorant because you mad about what happened. You did that. That's on you.
Yeah.
Like, if you would have had a decent season, it'd be totally different. You see Mike Vick, even with them dogs, he was still having great seasons. Like, it's a difference. Like,
It could
it's a
go
difference.
either
Like,
way.
it's a difference.
That's just the
think
part.
But see, that's
Yeah.
a different.
That is
that's
true,
a
though.
different way of looking at the
Like,
situation.
Michael
Well,
Vick
I
still
seen an
played his
episode of
way.
South Park
You
like
understand
that.
what I'm saying? Like, Michael Vick, regardless of what they said to him, like, he still played his way. This man had a terrible. They was paying him a lot of money, and he had a terrible season. And with that little
110
mishap,
million?
that's all it take. Yeah, that's all
think.
it
He
take.
got it. He lost a lot of millions too, but
He
I
lost
mean,
all of that shit.
I think it's the stature of the player. Like, let's say a LeBron James comes out
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and does essentially what Colin Kaepernick is doing and gets other players to follow suit. But then, like Jay said, to Jay point, you might have a player that's not making $100 million a year. That might be, you know.
Fuck that. I can't afford to do
You
this.
I
see what I'm
can't
saying?
afford
So
that, right.
it's kind of like, are we going to stand for the cause? There's so many people that sell out for the money. You see what I'm saying? Or not even sell
Definitely.
out, just have responsibilities that they have to take care of, and they're not, you know, politically educated or want to be involved in that, you know, can't articulate themselves in a way that will come across as intelligent.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is like, you can't fight for every fucking cause.
Absolutely.
You can't risk your life and your family's needs for every cause.
It's such a double-edged
You know what I mean?
sword.
You
Yeah,
just
it
can't.
is.
Because
It really
it's like
is.
if in a perfect world, if every black person that was in the NFL decided to say, "Yo, we not doing this," maybe it would have made an impact. Maybe they would
But
have
it
placed
is
them all
making
with
an
white
impact.
boys. We don't know.
They have low ratings now,
Right.
so
That
that is
is-
an impact
that
in
is
its
an
own because that's
impact,
gonna
but
fuck up their business.
Like you said,
No,
there's been plenty of
a new
strikes.
season of Love and Hip Hop was on at the same time as the Super Bowl. I'm playing.
I'm like,
With
really?
a
done.
possibility.
Well played. But let's say there's how many times have jobs went on strike, unions or places went on strike, and you think your whole job is gonna be there, and there's that one motherfucker that went to work that was like, "Sorry guys, I got family," you know. But it happens, so you just never.
But that's what unions
it's a
are for
losing-
at jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's a union for sports, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a players
Yeah.
union in
So
NFL,
bring that
PA,
shit
and-
to the. I'm gonna give you two examples. bring that shit to the union first before you go and kneel on the field, right? Mm-hmm. At least, like, listen, man, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I got a problem with this, so before I go and make this big ass fucking thing, I need blah 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 blah. The same thing I was say with the when the battle rappers went on strike for that 32 hours.
I fucking said no, and I was with it at
I
first.
said no.
I figured out who was fighting and what they was fighting for.
Everybody
all
was
the dudes that was
girl.
fighting get paid more than 35, 4,000.
Y'all was listening.
But listen,
y'all let hit girl gas y'all.
That's something that should have been talked about behind closed doors first.
We all got hype real quick.
It's the same shit. No, it's the same.
It's talk about it first, and if you don't get what you're asking for, then you can go public with it.
Right.
So that's my thing.
And
We
his
should just
thing
never
was,
jump out the window.
You're right.
He knew
I give you
because
that.
police weren't acknowledging all the unjustified deaths that were going on and police shooting people. My thing is, you're Colin Kaepernick. All right, you want to kneel. I get it. But like you guys said, if he would have took a different route, he could have made an Instagram video.
No,
he could have did all types of stuff.
It's his body of work. You just popped out of nowhere and became a star quarterback. Like, we wouldn't even be talking about. He had one good season. Like, Russell Wilson continued to be good. Then he got to see. It was other things that came along with Russell Wilson. It was steps. This guy was a nobody. Came out of nowhere, had a good season. Then turned around and had one of the shittiest seasons, bro. Like, no. And then you about to. No.
And he was like, what
now
can I
you
do
trying
to
to
win the
speak
people?
on something? You're not even doing your job. You can't speak, bro. And you only trying to save your ass. You know your job is done.
And I think he cheated on Nessa.
Oh my God! What? Bitch, how do you drop that bomb out of nowhere?
With him until that.
Remember, they said the girl. They said they're
I'm not here for this.
They said that the girl was mad. There was a debate that some girl said she was mad at Kaepernick because he told her, "If you want to see me, pay for your own flight." And we were like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, Brittany Bundles. Yes. But
Future. So he told everybody. He told the girl, "If you want to see me that bad, pay for your own flight." And everybody's arguing like, "Oh, he's whack for that. Oh, that's the truth." No, we didn't say he was whack for that. I said he was a cheater. My question was, where was your girlfriend when you was booking these hotels?
Oh no!
I lost the whole conversation in that one. I was like, "What?"
They could have been on a break.
So, I can't say Kaepernick's an angel because I've been hearing so many things about this man.
We know nothing.
Don't bring people into your bullshit just because you going through something.
Yo, I'm
bring everybody else down with you.
He said it so nonchalant.
Because I want to make
a
good example. Because I am a battle rapper, but I won't make it because I don't. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I just can't.
I
right
know
now
Nike
I don't
took
want
that
to
whole
diss nobody.
campaign and ran with it.
Right, and that was
They
cool.
just dropped those shirts. The shirts went crazy. Everybody went out and bought a shirt. You feel me, Kaepernick?
You got a shirt.
Yeah, I went and got a Kaepernick
running
shirt.
with this, man.
That was lit.
You know? So
I
it's
can't.
all
And then you seen
perspective, you know, like
with Super
It
Bowl,
probably worked for him though.
there was a lot of drama behind Super Bowl. First of all, not my boy, so I ain't gonna say our boy. Bow Wow got
oh man.
got flexed on by Shorty.
I love this conversation. Hold on.
Before we even get into this is what I'm leading
We
to.
just gonna say double standards
But
off the rip.
Super Bowl weekend itself was crazy. So everybody saw mugshots of Bow Wow, and he looked a little like he got beat up, a little scratched up. He was looking a little rough. So word on the playground is him and his girl were arguing about the fact that he wasn't going to take her to Super Bowl weekend. He was packing, getting his stuff together, booking his flight to go do Super Bowl. Here's my girl. And
Oh man,
Fuck you mean, my girl?
Bow Wow up
I
there,
only
man.
say that because I have issues with Bow Wow as of lately. He's always saying crazy. Ever since the Bow Wow challenge, there's something off with that kid.
But you just said, "There's my girl," after she fucked Bow Wow up.
I mean-
Would you be saying, "There's my girl," fucked up if
No,
Bow Wow would have did it to her?
No, but you know why? You're right. I'm glad y'all.
Nah, let's hear you out. I'm patiently waiting. I'm just here like, I knew
Whoop
someone
his
was
ass,
going to
girl.
do that.
It's double standards.
I'm waiting.
You
Crazy.
know what?
That shit.
Because
I
that's
can't-
fucked up.
I
That's
can't
crazy.
say that. If that was Soulja Boy,
That's
I would
wrong.
have an argument. But I can't say much bad about Bow Wow except for he be lying. So I can't say he deserved that.
He didn't deserve that.
So
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like if it's on the other foot and her face
He
was
just
looking like
kidnapped
that,
somebody.
or like
They
the
wouldn't have
Rihanna
arrested both
situation,
of them. They would have just arrested him.
They would have just arrested him. You know what I'm saying?
But they are
Facts.
both arrested. She's
Did you
arrested
hear-
too.
Did you hear the 911? I mean the 911
Call?
call?
No, I heard, but I was reading something that said during the 911 call, that's what they were talking about was the whole Super Bowl thing, was that he wasn't bringing her to Super Bowl.
In my opinion,
Talk about it.
the
Let's hear it.
911 call sounded a little suspect to me.
Wait, so what was this 911 call about?
I mean, so she's calling in. She stated that they locked her in the room, took her phone, or something to that effect. That he was She didn't go into detail what he actually did.
R. Kelly there?
This is
Nah,
girlfriend?
she said his girl. She said he hit her in places that he said people would never believe. And while the 911 operator
Punched her in
was,
the pussy? Like, I'm so confused.
I've never heard anybody say anything like that. Now, I've been around situations, not that I've been in anything, I don't catch DV charges or anything like that, or I don't put my hands on female, but I've been around certain situations. I've never heard anybody say, I'm going to hit you somewhere where people are not going to believe that I hit you. Like, that just doesn't sound right in the heat of a moment. Like,
It does sound like
I mean,
something
it
like,
sounds like something a celebrity would say if you've ever, if you know somebody
Yeah,
who
but
don't
I don't
want
know.
They play
the
right,
media
though.
to see.
You ever watch Bow Wow interview? Like, he make these females sign consent for all them niggas do that. Like, let's be real. But this is his girlfriend. That's just some heated shit that's just going on.
But I hear
him and
what
his
you're
girl.
saying. Like, if you would want to say that to somebody first, like he said, nobody's going to believe me.
but then she denied help. Like, they was going to send her out some type of medical assistance. She denied that.
She probably ain't want to get locked up. Them scratches is what got them locked up. That's a full fight.
I don't
See,
know.
my
But
whole
not
thing
on
is,
his end, though.
where
Shouts to
is
Bow
the
Wow.
outrage? Where is I feel like people aren't even talking about this. They looked at
They
it, they
laughing
laughed, they
at
made
it. They
memes
laughed
at
at
They
it.
laughing at him, though.
And exactly,
Now,
and they're
what if he would've
scrolling by.
beat her the
But
fuck
Bow
up?
Wow was like a...
Talk about
What
it.
if he beats her
butt
up?
of
No,
all
no, 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 no,
jokes
no, no,
on the
no, no.
internet. Like,
Would
know
he
what I'm
been
saying?
the butt of the joke? We would have been antagonized. Like, we'd have been going off on him. Like, you some fag.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Beating on him. And that word wouldn't have been wrong to say. That word I just
Right,
said
right,
wouldn't have been
right,
wrong to say to him because you just hit on the female.
Right.
But look at that, though. Nah.
I mean, that's...
I'm like, nah,
Me,
no,
honestly,
you're right.
no, I'm not taking
I
that
agree.
serious like
I
that.
agree
I'm not
with
taking
you.
that.
I honestly
I don't
think
hit
that
women,
at
but I'm
this
not taking that
age,
like that, bro.
at this age, that's corny. Like that to me is crazy.
That's childish.
That's childish at this age.
That's childish.
If anything,
Because he's 30 plus now.
if he wants to
he
go to
alright.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
he like, alright.
you're Bow Wow's girlfriend. She seems like she got her own stuff together. I could be wrong.
No,
you could have easily planned your own weekend with your friends. You could have went somewhere to Super Bowl yourself with your friends.
I feel like she's
I
kind
don't-
of clout chasing.
I-
I feel
that's
like
how
the
she's.
whole time, even
Oh,
on
like-
the show and the whole thing with her, she's just,
She
it's just
seemed
a lot of
extra.
clout. It's controlling. It's like, yo, you trying to control somebody that take care of you.
It's just
Right.
Bow Wow.
We know he's taking
Yeah,
care
it's
of you.
just Bow Wow, but why do we even know what she
He's
looks
taking
like?
care of her.
Right.
Because of him.
He
I'm going
made-
to try this real
he can-
quick, see what happens.
The world be
What are we
people look
trying?
bad, bro. They make
Then
him
911,
look
what's
and
that?
I just
Yeah.
don't-
take care of her.
Ask people in the
Okay.
chat,
Okay.
can they see, can they hear that?
That is absolutely
That's so-
true.
And I would like
You
to
gotta
It's the
be-
911 call. Ask them in the
what's the
chat, can they
location?
hear the 911 call?
Let us know in the chat if you can hear this. If you can hear
He
the
was hitting
911
me.
call going up now.
He was hitting me in places. And he said, nobody's going to believe.
Yes.
They can hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So did you need
Oh, we
medical
can't.
attention? I don't feel like I do.
It's all right. Go. Oh, because
I just want somebody to... What's your name? Leslie Holden.
Mics.
Maxine?
Hold up.
Leslie, Leslie, Holden. Is your boyfriend still there? Yeah, he lives here. We live here together. Yeah, I'm standing outside because his friends helped me leave. Okay, let me get a description of you. Are you black, white, Hispanic, or Asian? I'm black, and I have on all black. I'm in a green Jeep. I'm sitting in my car. The police already came out here, but they wouldn't let me out the bedroom. So when the police came, your boyfriend wouldn't let you out the bedroom? Yeah, it was him and two of his other friends, and they wouldn't let me out the bedroom. They took my phone from me because I called the police the first time, and they took my phone from me. No, it was just like a domestic violence. He was just hitting me over his head.
Like, what does that mean? Sorry.
I had to mute y'all in order for us to hear.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's
without the
perfect.
echo. So now y'all can talk.
So yeah, her saying that domestic violence just sounds a little weird. It sounds a little off. She knew that with the scratches being on him, she was gonna get charged for that. So she had to make the call first. I know a girl who says her baby father was never around. He's the worst person in the world, but because he had the scratch on him when cops came, she went to jail. And this girl was like, I spent that weekend worrying about my kids because they let a man free who doesn't take care of his kids, is never there. But just because he had the scratches, the guy got locked up. So in this case, the girl got locked up. So I'm thinking in this case, she knew she was about to get locked up. So she did that little phone call and try to like say exactly what they
double.
would.
So yeah, so if I'm going, he going too.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit corny.
Exactly.
For you to, and you know what's so crazy that I hear is so many people say he locked me inside. That automatically turns into kidnapping.
I'm tired of that. Like, yo, ain't
That's
nobody,
crazy.
Let me tell you something.
If your girl says, yo, I'm gonna call the cops, and you lock the door, she could say that to the cops, and that goes down as kidnapping when you write it down on a piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Then you taking somebody's phone.
Something else holding you against your will or something. There's another charge.
Yep, but it's serious to what you in the situation.
If you're holding someone against your will, that is kidnapping.
If I
don't be no.
But there's another word for it
somebody against will.
Keeping them, locking the door on them is not 100% kidnapping.
They weren't letting her out.
But it's
called
not.
something.
They're not.
No, you're right.
Might be people in the house we want to fuck. You know, we need privacy.
I'm telling you,
it's just that simple. That's why I lock my door.
You know who I am? I'm the guy. If you hit me, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Right away. I'm not gonna hit you back. I'm calling the cops, and you going to fucking jail.
Exactly.
That's that. Anybody I ever dated knew that shit from the get.
Than you saying you gonna call the cops first. That's crazy.
Because I know
it's true though.
Because females hang that over men.
That's like
I dare you hit me.
This is
not
crazy.
Too many men that's picking up the phone and calling police on females.
You're right.
So
you touch me, I'm calling on you because I'm not going to jail for no bullshit.
I'm calling. Absolutely.
You have to think about taking that as an option.
Honestly,
bro.
we make.
No, that's my only option.
You have to. You have to.
You don't live like that. Like you don't believe in calling the police, or if you don't handle your business like that, like in these situations with
these
days
females, with these crazy girls,
you gotta be like, yo, like this might be
not for nothing. It sounds funny, and we laugh at it. We laugh about guys being the ones to call the cops, but if they did, it would stop these lying ass girls from constantly saying it like that and constantly using that.
He a sucker. He called the police on me.
That's why niggas don't call.
He's a rat.
I watch the show.
I'm a sucker.
No,
I'm a bitch ass nigga. Call me what you want, but I'm not going to jail for that bullshit.
I've seen girls hit themselves before the cops come. I watched a whole movie or a document. I've seen some real life shit where she didn't know the other person was recording, and because the man didn't want to leave with her or get out the car, she started hitting herself, and she called the cops, and the cop was like, we watched you, we saw this whole thing, we saw you hitting yourself, are you crazy? Like this
random
bitches be tripping.
But someone I used to be with did that to me. The cops were called on me, and he went and he started stabbing himself with a screwdriver.
Stabbing him?
So that when the cops came in the door, I looked like I did that. You got me like, that shit happens, yo. Shit like this.
Now?
Huh?
Where's he at now?
Probably doing it to someone else.
Wow.
He was.
Jay-Z gotta be Spanish.
He was. Yo.
Hey, Jay.
He was, and that's sad. And that is sad as fuck. That is sad as fuck. Yo, he's so stupid. Listen, but it's not a race that's attached to it because anyone could do shit like that.
The piece right there.
It's a narcissistic.
I said I would have got a free one in there. You might as well.
Yo, you're an idiot. I'm done. No, hell no. I wasn't touching nothing. Like you want to stop yourself, that's you. But if they pick that shit up and this actually, they take this serious, I really have to consider my options now. Like, I'm not touching that.
I just seen a situation also on Facebook today. I was scrolling and I seen it was a quarterback from Florida State University that just got dropped from the team. His girlfriend said something similar. That he beat her up when she was actually beating herself up. To make it look like he put his hands on her. He lost his scholarship.
Oh my God.
That breaks my heart.
He's not gonna probably go in the league.
Send her to jail.
Yeah, so that it brings up a discussion like, okay, like what happens to these females if they're caught lying? Right. You see what I'm saying? Because it's so much that from a male perspective, what we have to lose in these type of situations.
Little shit happen to them. They don't get no real
it's
jail
like a slap
time.
On the wrist,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it creates a opportunity for it to keep going on.
And we were just saying that earlier, how there should be something done to these girls that are lying and saying that these things are happening when really it's not.
Yeah, like what if a female accuses a man of rape? He goes to jail.
Absolutely, because it's your word against his.
Oh, how many motherfuckers is locked up right now because a girl lied and said it was rape?
You see what I'm saying? When you get to jail, I know the homies on the tiers doing you dirty. You got that stigma over your life.
Meanwhile, there's real rapists running around that won't go to jail.
Yo, I was just gonna say that. That's Meanwhile, crazy. You got real rapists out here that victims and women don't want to even talk about. So they're just out going to the next person and the next person because they don't wanna live in that like moment no more.
Like R. Kelly.
Like R. Kelly. Talk about
R. Kelly's
it.
still out here.
My man.
R. Kelly's another one.
Kelly wasn't raping them though.
Nah, it was a lot of
No, he was just mind fucking them.
15 years was up with a contract. Baby, I ain't got no more money for you. And that's what happened. Everybody came out at one time. Yeah, that 15, 20 years is up, baby.
Y'all too old. I need a whole new group now.
99 to 2003. Think about it. That 15 years up.
They too old now.
Over.
They had to
now
get a whole
tell
new
y'all
crew.
stories running out of money. I only believe Sparkle. Because she really sound
Sparkle
traumatized.
is done up.
But she really but you can tell it wasn't no, you know what I'm saying?
Sparkle went against her family and was mad
what makes you think that she was the only honest one out of everyone?
Yeah,
I think she lied. Like I think Kelly was fucking her too.
Who?
I think he was saying that too.
No, he was. No, he was.
But she said he wasn't.
No, he was.
She said she's adamant about him not.
She's lying. That's why I made her mad.
Also, you think she was and that she noticed her cousin was?
That was her little niece.
She said R. Kelly didn't fuck her.
Yeah, that's what
and by telling that one lie fucks up your whole story.
That's true.
You can't do that.
Be consistent once again.
You know, tell the truth.
No holes in your story.
She's all over the Breakfast Club. She did the documentary.
She was everywhere.
Yeah, she dropped some corny single.
Yeah, the single was terrible.
Like, come on, man. Like, if you exposing R. Kelly, that's one thing. But if you using it as a means to, like, try to promote your single and things of that, like, that make it hard for people to respect.
True, but in the same token, as soon as you do that, there's always gonna be people to come up and be like, "Oh, you only doing that because of I didn't know she had a single out. Still, I ain't hear Sparkle single yet."
Exactly. So it's like, yo, without that, you know, right. You could have dropped you could have been, what happened to you after you fell off? After
and you
R.
guys
Kelly
watched
stopped dealing with you. You still was a singer.
Now all of a sudden you're trying to make a comeback.
Your own hands.
Yeah, she said it was a lot. He had a lot of control. And it's like, yo, come on, man.
Nah, he owned the music that he wrote.
Yeah, with her.
See what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you going for real? Like, at the end of the day. You know?
I can't.
It's
I
a
can't.
sick
What
situation.
did you guys
Yeah.
think of? What you guys watched all of it, like the documentaries
I
or
watched
whatever,
it.
or
I
the
did
Aaliyah
at
one?
first. I was against it.
I
Uncle
can't-
Rob.
Yo,
Did y'all
Rob,
see the Aaliyah
When
part?
we was together, I did not
seen-
see it yet because I said I swear they lying on him. And then when I saw episode 2, I was starting to feel crazy.
That hit you,
Episode
right?
3 hit because I seen the chick. I said, "Oh, I seen her." I watched the tape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey,
And
I
now
watched
you
the
hear her
tape and I'm like,
story and how
"Oh
it
shit, she
goes down.
grown." And then I'm listening. I'm like, "Oh shit."
Oh shit.
It's Monday running out of money. That's how
Yeah,
they
word.
really sound like bitter feet. Like y'all were all with it.
Mm.
It was all consensual because every time y'all say the first time was consensual and then it's now he had
The
me
first
in the room.
time
So
did
how
all
is these
sound-
first times are
the
consensual?
first
No,
time
shut
did all
up.
sound
You went back.
consensual.
The dick has a price tag on it
But-
and you went back and you thought you was good. Your parents thought you was good. Parents is letting their kids go back.
Man,
to
so
them.
they so
You was selling your kids. Are you selling your
scary.
kids? Y'all are the most sick ones. Fuck all that.
I'm
He
saying
sick.
all
They're
parties
sick.
involved is wrong.
Exactly.
That's-
Everybody.
like,
Everybody
we gonna make that-
involved.
But we
Right.
gonna make that clear, like, because
not
I don't
saying
want to
that.
make it seem like we coming from a standpoint of we taking up for
No,
R.
I'm
Kelly
not.
or
I'm not.
No,
'cause
we
there's
all
a lot of
know-
shit he did
all
that
parties
didn't
is
seem
wrong.
cool.
Right.
We as a society knew or had an idea that R. Kelly was partaking in some things he had no business.
I mean, he
taking.
married
Still
Still
Aaliyah
bought the
Word.
music.
at
We did.
15.
We bought into it.
Y'all still,
see
we
nothing
still was
wrong.
at cookouts playing happy people,
Right.
Right.
weddings.
Right.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
I agree
Half of
that
these-
the parents are just as much as fault because let me tell you something.
That
Both
shit
of
was
our
good.
parents would never have let us go across the country with a grown ass man.
Not even for
at that
5
age,
minutes
yo.
would
At
they
that
let me in
age,
a
my
room
mother would've been
alone
like,
with a
"What?"
man.
But see, one of the girls.
My
in the
mother would have had R.
documentary
Kelly
was
locked
like,
up back then.
She was like she
knew I
was
was
coming
going
to
or
the
not.
trial when he was on trial for
Yeah, she
Sparkle
was
V.
going to.
14 years
was
old,
coming
she
to
was at the
like,
trial.
Why are you not in school? Why are you
Right.
interested
Where's
in
your
coming
parents?
to a trial for a man that's possibly gonna go to jail for rape?
And
Is
then
this
you
a
end up
bag?
fucking with him.
and then exactly.
Uncle
so
Rod,
it's
they
like,
looked to set this man after they found out that he had this sickness. He liked these young girls. A lot of people really tried to take advantage of him. But you trying to take advantage of somebody that know the game already. He got the bread. You
He's
see what
smart.
he was
He's
doing.
definitely smart.
You see what he was doing.
And still
They
doing
didn't
it.
touch that man. Like, yo, bro.
Pied Piper.
Yo, that's crazy.
And
That
he
is-
called
that is
himself
literally
that. That is so creepy.
Someone who made kids
Goat
follow
chocolate
him.
factory.
Goat, that's cringy as fuck.
And
That
once
is not
be
good.
funny. I'm
once
being
you
funny.
see the documentary and they talk about how he used to cry at school and kids used to make fun of it made sense. I was like, no wonder he's a
Hurt
creep. Now he's
people
trying to
hurt people.
He's trying to make up for all the years where everybody called him corny and a loser. Now he feels like he's R. Kelly. He got money. He got a voice. But then when he gets these girls, in his mind, he's child R. Kelly. That's still a fucking weirdo. That's a sicko.
It's like police. A lot of police used to get their ass whooped and picked on and bullied in
Yep.
school.
No doubt.
Then they become the police. Now all of a sudden, you
Now
know,
they're
they
brave.
Now
they
shooting
using their
niggas in
power.
cold
I know a
blood.
lot of
So,
surviving
yeah.
stories, though.
But now, did anybody see the interview with two of the dudes from R. Kelly, the public announcement? The two dudes he used to be, that was his background dude. Y'all remember it was R. Kelly in
Yo,
the public announcement.
was dope. Let's make that clear real quick. I'm saying,
But they did an interview.
and what they
It,
say.
it was like a Skype interview with this girl, Monique something. But you can Google it and it's on YouTube.
oh yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the shit they were saying just kind of like makes me believe. You gotta watch the documentary.
say that Cows was really with it.
Well, it's like it makes. That's when the whole thing with the Sparkle shit lying came from.
because the guys were on some like this certain shit.
I'll just
we
tell you
did
one
see.
part because I
I
want
just
y'all to
couldn't
watch
get
it.
with
To
Sparkle,
listen,
like, I
so
don't know.
Sparkle was married to one of the dudes in public announcement.
Okay.
Okay.
She never said that. If you watch, even on the Breakfast Club interview, she said she had a boyfriend when she was first introduced to R. Kelly.
She
No,
was married.
she was married to the dude, the first dude that left. And the first dude that left public announcement left because he saw R. Kelly fucking Aaliyah.
Oh, shit.
And he told the other two, and one of the other ones, and they didn't believe him, but he left.
got out of it.
Wow.
He didn't say I'm thinking about it. He just totally left. So now, and Sparkle had to sleep on the couch for 30 days in the studio if she wanted the record deal. This is what one of the public announcements.
Bruh.
That sound like some R. Kelly
That
shit.
sounds like some R.
And if
Kelly
she
torture
did that,
shit.
you telling me she didn't fuck him? But she kept saying she
It's
didn't
mind
fuck
control.
him.
That's what he does, though. He breaks you down to where you think you have to do what he's telling
But
you to
that's
do.
You're
what I'm
young
saying.
and dumb.
Yo,
That's
that
what you
just,
can
like,
do.
Triggered.
It is. That is a
That's
sickness.
triggered.
That's what I'm saying. That is a
So you
sickness.
on a
But
couch
what are you
for
going to
30
do?
days?
There are choices.
What are you
It's
doing
called
for fame?
Stockholm Syndrome. You should look it up.
I know, but it's choices. Like in a lot of these situations, there were a lot of parents around. Yo, come on, you allowing your
You know what
allowing
it
your
is?
daughters
I
to
think-
really go see this man.
All right.
And a lot of your daughters don't have no talent.
You know
and
why?
Y'all putting them in the hands of a man that really can make them something. Even
Think
with
about
no
it.
The
talent.
parents are
So he
fans
can
of
sell
R.
them
Kelly
whatever.
too.
Yeah, the parents
Yo,
are
half
usually
of these
fans.
kids-
And half
Still
of
in
them
that
had
created
men,
to a
so
R.
they
Kelly
couldn't
song.
even do
Right.
certain shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And now think about it this way: when we were kids,
I'll listen to him.
our
My mother
our
had every
idea
R.
of
Kelly
hanging
CD.
out with the wrong crowd was maybe, you know, being in the streets, getting into
Not
trouble,
with a nigga 20 years older than you.
being in it. But it's this. Now imagine you're a kid, and our brains at that time was totally different. We think gangbanging is cool. We think being outside getting drunk is cool. We think all of that is cool at that age. These girls were that age, somewhere around people with money. I'm not gonna call them rich, but to a 16-year-old, she's like,
Oh, the
I'm
nigga
in
was rich.
I'm in the studio with R. Kelly. I'm doing this, and that. So that was their brainwashing at that moment. The same way we thought being a thug was cool, these bitches thought sleeping on a studio couch for a record
And
deal
because
was
they were
cool.
artists and they were looking
was-
for a record deal that they never
He
got.
was
I
dangling
think
that
Sparkle the
over
only
his
one that
head.
got anything out
And
of the
what's
deal.
sick is the
Barely.
Aaliyah thing. Is because Aaliyah was the only protege that actually was famous. He was telling that story to every other girl
Sparkle
after
too
her.
though.
And it was like once Aaliyah died, and it fucked his head up, but he never talked about it. I didn't know they were that close until I watched the documentary.
I
was
had
telling
no
my
idea.
sister, I was like, I don't remember him around like that.
What?
I had
Like,
no
when
Shit,
idea.
me?
I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Well, not
young,
when
but my
Aaliyah
cousin
died.
loved
Not
R.
when she
Kelly.
died.
Like,
And they
yo,
were
when
always
they were
together
when they were
matching.
together and shit like that, they was together. Like, I
No,
don't know
but when
about the
she
matching.
died, she was
No,
around
when-
Timbaland and Missy and them.
It's
was-
like they
was
had
writing
just got her
music.
out of
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, like when she was coming up, all cows.
Because her biggest shit
One
was
in a
with
Million. That
Timbaland.
album.
Yeah.
That was Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
R. Kelly did
R.
that.
Kelly wrote. He
That's
wrote and produced
scary.
that whole album.
So I feel
And-
like
and-
Missy and them saved
But
her.
he
They
made
might have
it.
known.
I don't know if
Yeah,
they
in the-
saved her. Because all
in the-
them,
I mean, in the
because everybody
sense.
loved
Everything's
Aaliyah.
messy.
Look at all them producers, bro. Why is all these men attracted to that young girl too, and nobody ain't saying nothing about that shit?
I think
She was
Dame-
still young.
Dame was
Timbaland,
fucking
all
with
of
her.
them,
Yeah,
Dame,
in
all
those
of them. She was still
interviews.
young. When she was fucking with R. Kelly, he was what, like 23, 24 at the time? So she was 16?
15. She was 15.
She was 15?
And Dame said that. He said that he was in love with her when he first met her, which she was like 11 or some shit. But he said he would never.
No.
I don't know exactly what age, but she was young.
I was in love with her when she was 11.
When he first
He
met
loved her.
but
He
she was
loved
already-
her.
She was young. He had
But
to
she
wait
was
for her to
young,
catch
so
up.
he
Dame said
waited.
that?
Yes,
He went out
he
with her
did a
after R.
podcast.
Kelly.
He
I
had the
know,
red
but
shirt.
that's
Yeah.
fucking pedophilia.
He said he
It's like a
always
Yeah,
loved
so
her.
he waited till she was 18. That's like me looking at a chick when I'm 18. I know she like fucking 7. She like in the second
And you're
grade.
like,
I'm a
I'll call
senior.
you when you're
And now
18.
it's my
Yeah.
time. Now I'm
That's
30.
creepy.
No,
That's
real shit. I'm
crazy.
31. Now she fucking.
Now we
Real,
good.
she
Yeah,
bad.
that's
She
crazy.
good.
But
I
no,
was
but
waiting.
here, but tell me some
waiting
shit.
for that
You're
shit
telling
to
me
be
that
real.
you don't know people that do some shit like that? Because I do.
Nah,
I
I mean,
know
we
niggas
was
that
there
used to
when
put
I
it
know,
to
I
high
know,
school.
I
Like,
could
a lot of girls
pinpoint
that
guys.
were, like high school. and thought they was the shit.
Exactly.
So
Word.
Exactly.
Stunting on us wouldn't
Yes,
fuck with us.
wouldn't fuck with us.
Word. I ain't gonna say y'all names.
No, this real shit.
Feel me?
You
But
wasn't
niggas was
stunned.
coming up there picking y'all up.
And
Y'all wouldn't
now,
fuck with us. We was too young.
And
We
you-
ain't had no
But
car.
see, same thing.
car.
They're
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
guy at the
y'all
car.
shit. Y'all deserve it. I'm gonna let y'all
Or you had
real
a
shit.
chance.
I
Or
can't
you
even
had a
knock
chance.
that.
Or you
But
had
that
a
be-
chance
yo,
to
that's
get
y'all little
if
secret,
you
though.
knew the nigga. Like just because you knew him. Like
I'm not
this
gonna
is
lie.
real shit.
I definitely had an older boyfriend
Good point.
freshman year. My boyfriend, I had no business being with that grown ass man at that
See what I'm
age.
saying?
He wasn't even in high school, and if I see him
Mhm.
today, I'll punch him in his face because I had no business being around people
Was he
that
Spanish?
age. He was half black, half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that screwdriver shit.
Yeah. Hold on.
Puerto Rican. But I do, looking back, I'm like, what? Like, that was so creepy. Like, I thought I was cool, but technically he couldn't get a girl his age.
Wow. Or even running the game that he probably ran on a younger girl.
He had to do it to a young girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they be, that's what I'm
because
saying.
grown women is not
Absolutely.
accepting certain things. Like,
Right.
you know,
We be
so-
like, huh?
Yeah, like
What?
But that's why.
Like you gotta have your shit
gang
together. You
was a
feel me?
sickness.
But with a
And
young
back
girl,
then it was like,
That's why tail shit
hey.
was a sickness, bro. That's
you
why
know,
I said
you
I
pulling
ain't
up like 04. You got the jersey on. You feel me? You with the crispy earbuds or whatever you doing. You pulling up in the vehicle. Like I said, niggas, they have vehicles then.
Word.
The vehicle was everything.
I mean,
That was everything.
you
Like,
want to
nah,
hop on the pegs of a bike or you want to hop in this little Acura?
Like,
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm
what
saying?
Like, yo, you want to cry on the bike or you want to cry in this act?
Yeah, and that's what's crazy.
You feel me? You got choice is yours, man.
So I'm like, oh, I'm getting all the big
that
till a
all
nigga pull
the
up
time.
in the Impala, and you like, oh
Yo,
shit.
that's
man.
so funny you said that.
Believe
He always
it.
says, I'd rather cry in a
No, right, that's
mansion.
real. You can play ball, have a
All
bad girl
day.
in the school.
All
She will
fucking
leave with
day.
that nigga. I got that G-Rock.
By the way,
Yo,
shout out
all
to everyone that
the
tuned into today's
Yeah,
podcast. Shout out to Norb. Shout out to Sarah Kana. Shout out to
Ling.
Will
A
Mill.
lot of love.
Shout out to Ling Ling. Shout out to Lex
Shout out to
Luthor.
Andrea.
You guys are the
everybody.
fucking
Y'all
best.
Lit. Lady
Super lit. Super lit. So wait, so let's get into one more crazy topic right now that's surrounding someone big in hip hop.
Yeah, we didn't get through Super Bowl
We didn't even
weekend.
get to this shit yet.
Before Super Bowl even started.
21 Savage.
Oh,
That's my man.
that's my man. Free 21.
21. I
Free
need
20. Well, what's his name?
Savage the 21st.
Savage.
Sir Savage.
I like that, Sir Savage.
Savage.
The 21st.
Lord.
Lord Savage.
Savage.
Yo, I didn't understand the big deal.
Free my son.
Because
Okay.
the motherfucker was from the UK. I didn't
Yeah,
understand
because the
why it
same
was a
way,
big deal.
look at how everybody puts a stigma on immigration, and if you came here and you didn't renew your visa, you're a legal alien.
What about Slick Rick?
I said that too.
Right.
Slick Rick.
But
Didn't
do
they
you
send
see
Slick Rick
how it when you see
No, when he got
somebody
locked
like
up,
Slick
they
Rick,
tried.
when we think 21 Savage, we're like, what's wrong with that? It's fine. But we have a president who looks at immigration like it's disgusting. They're criminals. They're this. They're that.
Some of them are.
So, but
I partly agree with Donald Trump. Let's get that clear.
right.
He's right because there are a lot of fucking immigrants that come over here and fuck this country up.
My thing
they
is,
ain't
fix
never
your-
tried to get a job
Fix your
or nothing.
border.
They just,
Don't build a wall.
Right.
Hook up your
right.
border that's
But
been there, bro.
You got 21 Savage.
They're
This
coming
guy's
through,
over here making music, making a living,
Yeah.
doing the right thing.
I
So
think
why
you're
you
right.
don't fuck with people like that?
In his
Okay,
case,
but
fuck with those.
that in the same note, there's thousands of people that go to work, get paid an under minimum fucking check,
Sure.
That's a
and
fact.
they go home and they don't ever do anything. They pay taxes even though they don't get no benefits.
That's a fact.
And why do they deserve it?
I didn't say they deserve
think-
it. I'm saying the people that are out here, they came to America with that dream and they're chasing that dream. I mean, if they're already here, let them stay. I don't have a problem with that.
Right,
I
right.
don't have a problem, but I do have a problem with when you just let anybody come through there and you don't know nothing about their history, what they did in Mexico or Cuba or wherever.
But there's
they
no
come from.
records. There's no possible like in
Then that's
countries like
hard.
that. You like my birth. I'm from Costa Rica. My birth certificate is a piece of like office paper, like the see-through yellow
Well, guess
paper
what?
that you write on top of.
I can't go to Canada. I can't go to the UK. I can't leave the United States
And
without background checks and shit like that. So if I can't move
man
like
all
that, then
about
I don't think
overseas.
people should just be able to walk up in this motherfucker like that. It's almost
I
like
hear you.
New York. You got to pay $15 to get to New York.
But now
when
let
you
me
leave
make-
New York is free.
I
That's
just
Let
want
me make-
everybody
That
to
is
defend
That's bull.
illegal people sometime when it comes like with the same way we're doing for 21 Savage, the same way we would, like you said, if it was Slick Rick, the same way. Let me tell you something. Drake has to renew his visa every 2-3 years. Justin Bieber, I think, had to become a citizen of somewhere else because they always have to renew their visa. That's how easy it is for ICE to pick you up and you to get locked up.
But now, real quick, before we even jump into this all the way, I want to make it totally clear that there's a difference in immigration because a lot of people have this whole shit fucked up. Whereas you're an illegal immigrant, if you came here illegally, meaning you never got your visa and you came here, whether it was on a plane, a boat, a ship, whatever the fuck, you came here and you were not supposed to be here. You never got permission. It was never granted to you. There are people that did come here, like myself, that did get the permission, that did get a visa for however many years.
That's what 21 Savage had.
Like 21 Savage, which is the same exact thing, exactly. And at the end of the day, we overstood our visa. So now that makes us illegal. Now that makes it, but we still have all our certification. It's a different type because if someone, I have a friend, if he goes to
come here, but never went back.
Right. So we got cleared, but we just overstood our welcome and never left. As opposed to someone else that just came here, if they try to get their citizenship papers, they can't because there's a paper that you get when you ask for a visa. That's your proof that you got approved. They don't have that. So even if they were here for 20, 30 years, these people will never be able to be. It'll take years. It'll take so many sponsors, money. It'll take a lot more than a normal case for you to even be able to stay here, for you to even have a case.
And before y'all try to come for my girl, she's good. She got her paperwork.
Oh, I'm good now.
But 21
so I talk my shit.
21 Savage, like, yo, in his case where, like, he went on, like, he came over here when he was, like, 12.
I came here when I was 4.
Yeah, he been in Atlanta all this time. He's made something of himself.
Right.
Hasn't been in any trouble. Has kids that's from the United States. I don't think that he deserves to be 23-hour lockdown.
It's crazy how they treat him.
Not even rapists.
Not even rapists and child abusers got treated this way.
He's locked up 23 hours.
That's how they treat
I'm saying? He get an hour out. He has no contact with outsiders.
No visitors.
Like 10 minutes that he gets with his lawyer on the phone. Other than that, you know, it's like he really committed a crime out here.
And he really didn't do anything. And that's how they do it to people, though. They'll rip you away from your family. You'll never talk to them until whatever gets cleared out or happens.
But not only that, though, he's been trying to reinstate his visa or his information for like 4 years.
And they've been prolonging all
But that is why they caught on to him now. Because once you put yourself back in the system, like, like whatever it is, a petition for whatever, now he's here.
But he's been overseas. Cool. He's been traveling.
He flew back and forth.
And forth. Like, why now? It was a somebody made a point that
private. I saw him say that.
He's been flying private all that time?
Well, I can imagine how much money he's spending on that just to do that.
Just
exactly. To be able
to. He can't go to a regular airport.
Yeah, the regular shit.
That
no doubt. Be able to do anyway.
So. Yeah. I mean, it's just an unfortunate situation, and that's something that, you know, we really do have to take.
They lock up old lady. They could lock up somebody's grandmother. Like, let's say 21 Savage got locked up. If his grandmother was with him, they could lock her up, and they'll treat her the same way they treat him. That's somebody's grandma who did a non-violent crime.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You don't understand, do you?
23-hour lockdown.
Jail
is inhumane.
Jail. There's no fucking, there's no levels to jail. They don't give a fuck if you in there for jaywalking or if you in there for murdering your mother. When you go through the door, you the same motherfucker. That's the saddest part of jail.
And that reminded me, even though going backwards real quick, and then we'll come back to 21 Savage
and we got like 10 minutes.
With the Brooklyn jail incident. There were people in the comments that I was cursing out the same way you came at all the Trump supporters. I was arguing with people because they were like, oh, well, they're in jail. They shouldn't have been in jail. Oh, well, a jailbird. They're in jail. So that means you could turn off the toilets, turn off the lights, turn off the fucking air, the heat. Like, what do you mean?
That's been going on.
And I was commenting back, like, if I shot a dog right now, you'll go crazy. But these people are starving, and that doesn't drive you crazy.
You could have a fucking suspended license and go to jail.
Yeah, facts.
Crazy, yo.
I'm telling you, motherfuckers sit for the littlest shit, and it turned into a fact. I know niggas with misdemeanors, that shit just turned.
Like
they
even
had to sit.
So
they just give you that chart. Now you gonna eat this.
Yo,
now
it's
you a
people
number,
that sit in
and now that you're a number, I can do whatever I want.
Man.
You do probate, whatever systems. It's all money in these systems, bro. That's really what it's about. So,
and it's people that sitting like that has like bonds of like $100.
Which
$200,
actually,
that's what's crazy.
speaking of systems, a lot of people always ask, like I get asked all the time, why did you guys, if you guys were good and you came here good, why didn't you get your paperwork at the time? And that's another thing that people don't really understand is like my dad went and lost like $10,000 or probably more than that because he was paying 2 different lawyers to get our cases, to get our social security numbers when we could have. And they were scamming him because at that time, everyone was like, oh, you need papers? We got you. It was like scam likely for immigration. Oh, you want that? Okay, I got you. Yeah, no, I'm a lawyer.
That's crazy.
I got this, that, and the third. I got you right now. Here, look. And they're certifiable. You know, it's people that you're like, oh,
No
no, he's worked on
disrespect,
this person.
But everybody's scammable.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't give a fuck where you from. If you've been here all your life, you could be the
Like this
richest
one.
motherfucker in the world. You still liable of getting scammed.
Exactly.
We had a friend
Doesn't
who
matter.
worked for a
That's
school.
fucked up.
And this school was like, you know how they have like IT training or medical assistant schools. So what this school was if you're coming from a different country, a lot of them at that time in that specific company was like Indian. So they would come and say, oh, I need this for my visa or whatever. So as long as you're enrolled in this school, you get your citizenship through the school. And they found out half of these people were somebody's cousin. Like, say you own the school, you ran this long enough to get your whole family in. And really, but that's the only legal way that you could
Get them-
guarantee these people, if you come in, you go to school.
Everybody
you'll be
has their
good,
own
you'll
agenda.
get yeah, everybody.
And that could
Everybody's a
happen.
finesse,
If you came
dog.
here, like I said, legally, you can get sponsored by someone. You can get adopted by someone if you're young enough.
No, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can definitely do that.
Your company, whoever, if you're working for a company and they love you and they want to keep you here, I mean, that's very rare, but it's happened. There's people that it's happened to where their companies will actually sponsor you and keep you here. It's just, it's crazy though. It's sad that so many people get scammed, and it's crazy that I actually, not that it's a good thing because it sucks that 21's going through it, but it's shedding light to a world that a lot of people that were born here don't really know about or don't really talk about or don't really like didn't even know what was going on.
But how
Free
long will it
21,
last?
Free Lord
For how
Savage.
long?
Lord Savage the 21st.
Lord
Free 'em.
Savage.
Lord.
That is
Free
so
him
lit.
immediately. Sir Savage, we ride with you.
Now, how about
That's
the
a
people
fact.
that were talking all that crazy shit saying that he wasn't really from Atlanta then?
Oh,
like,
that's
how you
what I
gonna
was
say
gonna
that?
ask
He
y'all.
was
As
there
men.
since he was 12 years old. and
He's
from
from
Atlanta.
there.
Years old. You
I was
represent
gonna say
Atlanta.
that.
What
As
the
men,
fuck?
when
Listen.
somebody says, yo, because the biggest thing was, oh, he's fronted like he grew up in the hood. And this, and he's
Right.
really
That's
from
what
UK.
everyone
Listen,
said.
I
Y'all
went to
consider that
Atlanta.
growing up in Atlanta? I didn't.
I
at
went
first.
to Atlanta. I was on. I was in
I didn't know he
Zone
was
6,
12, but I was like,
the east side of Atlanta. 21 Savage is from Atlanta. He got a lot of love out there, and what he was doing before rap, the city of Atlanta is vouching for him.
They say,
he's
yeah.
He's not one of these guys that is just rapping it. I mean, he switched up his lyrics now. Like the song that he got out now a lot. I was just playing it before we came here with J. Cole, featuring J. Cole. It's a dope record. But
I heard he did a lot for his community.
he's switching his style a little bit, and I think, and they even said like maybe that's why he's being attacked now.
I've heard that.
You know, he just did Jimmy Fallon, shedding light on the the Flint crisis out in Michigan.
Oh shit.
Wow. The border situation that we going through right now that you ladies were just speaking on.
Right.
So it's like when we had
Like
these
XXX.
rappers and they're saying things or promoting things that's detrimental to our community, it's cool. But
Or
as soon as
sometimes they're
time-
programmed to do that,
Yeah,
or the
but as
agenda
soon as they,
is for them to do
as soon as they
that.
step up and they're doing something
That's
that's
how
going to
simple it
benefit
is.
the community, you have to expect to be crucified. I mean, it's just
It
if
is
you
that.
Because
just
for all
look
we
through
know,
history.
21 Savage and people like 21 Savage probably don't want to rap about
No, they
lean
don't
and all of
want
that.
us to
And that's what they were
own.
told
They
to
don't
do.
want us to be. They don't want us to be them. They don't want us to have power.
We'll notice when they start coming
Like
for
that, I
Cardi.
just seen somebody compare
Cardi be
him and
speaking
Chris
up
Brown
now.
shit, and that shit made me say I'm gonna do my homework tonight. Like Chris Brown, what's going on with Chris Brown?
I was
the
just
girl was
bro-
lying.
He recently had like some rape thing out in London, but
and
it
the girl
it
was
came
lying.
out.
He's
that-
coming
Now,
out with
prior
shirts.
to that, he just was one of the first or the youngest dudes that
To
own
own all his rights.
masters.
Yep.
The same shit with 21 Savage. Like he owns all his shit.
And now they're
It's
trying
not
to get him out of
happening,
here.
bro.
Well, you
A lot
gotta
of-
look
but you
at
gotta think a
Prince.
lot of the greats, but that's what I'm
Look
saying.
at
But see, and they
Look at
can
Michael
fuck
Jackson.
you like
But
that.
listen,
Michael.
a lot of the greats, you're not doing like if the greatest in the
R.
world,
Kelly.
they didn't let them own
I mean,
every
yeah.
fucking
For
thing.
real
But
though.
it's
You're right.
true.
For real
If
though.
they didn't let the greatest in the
Same with
world
Mike.
own everything, what make you think they gonna let it start with these guys?
Yeah, but
We
that's
talking about
Yeah,
people
the
that
Beatles
really.
shit, he bought the Beatles.
Yeah, he bought it once he had to learn, but they still
look what
want-
happened.
You not everything? Nah, you can't just have everything 100%.
When you
Like,
get
I
too
need
ahead
that.
of you, they want to control you. It's still a form
Yeah,
of
it is.
slavery in the entertainment business.
It is, and all
Once
of
you get ahead of yourself and you want to own your own shit, like same thing with Bill Cosby. Whether Bill Cosby did it or not, that man just tried to buy CBS that week before that, or NBC,
Yo,
whichever one it
so
was.
how you could get prison? I mean,
They
not
don't
si-
want you to have control.
1970. Everybody was
Don't make a
popping
mistake when you
Quaaludes.
want
And y'all all
control.
remember
That's what
now.
they showing you.
Everybody
They
was
gonna
off
make
the
sure you make a
Quaaludes.
mistake, bro.
70.
They're gonna make sure you make a mistake, bro. They give you, I'm gonna give you
mean,
this.
Like I said,
What
when
you
it's something
doing.
detrimental, that could, that's not a benefit of the community, that's forcing you to that's promoting selling drugs or promoting violence to get your own kind, that music is promoted on an all-time high.
As long as
soon
you
as
keep
switch
talking
your style-
ignorant,
Yeah.
you okay.
Exactly.
If
As soon
you
as you
sipping
switch
on
your
that
style
scissor,
and start saying
being
something that
positive.
got substance, something positive, something that could benefit the, something to get the youth, something to really think about and look up to, then they gonna get you out of here. And that's like with anybody. That to the point about Kaepernick or even the people that were opposed to Kaepernick, it's like, how do I stand up for my community when I'm gonna be crucified?
Right.
for doing something?
Even when
You
I
see what
do
I'm saying?
try to
Like-
do it, they trying to shoot me down.
Exactly. So it's like you can't
We
win.
need to pay attention to
can't
that
win.
and realize
You
that
see what
that's
I'm saying?
happening more and more, and they can't stop everybody from doing it if everybody did it at one
But
time.
you know why?
mean-
That's the thing. Everybody's not doing it together.
It's too
and
much
then
to
you're
do.
not doing it for a long enough
Right.
period.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers is like, yeah, fuck the bullshit today, and then tomorrow they like,
See,
Absolutely.
that's like closing out. We got to shout out our battle rap stuff real quick, but it makes me happy in the battle rap community. As much as we wanna merge hip hop and battle rap, so there is no divide and it's just everybody's lane. I appreciate that we don't gotta worry about things like that. Like, shout out to Briz. Briz had a class taught about his bars. They had a Briz breakdown in school
Yeah, word.
behind his lyrics.
Shout
And
to
also,
Briz. Shout to
shout out-
Arsenal, too.
Rain.
Shout out to Nikki Knowledge, because I saw that she posted something
They
that
did
Rain
ours. I
was
seen
talking
ours.
to the
They paid
kids.
I'm not sure if they paid him, but that's a good look.
No, what you mean?
know.
I mean, I know it's a great look and all, but
No.
this is what I mean.
Like
Like,
the video, I don't think you can get paid.
I think they played like his bars
They
and
played
then
the
like
YouTube.
explained
Yes.
it.
Play something off of you. But anyway, to be in the classroom and to have something, being taught on that's an accomplishment. You gotta shout that out.
Strike wasn't
Definitely.
real.
So shout out Briz, shout out Arsenal,
Shout out to
Money, I'm
Rain.
telling
shout
you,
out
it's just
Rain.
everything.
Shout out to Rain. Definitely, I'm
Shout out
glad.
to them. Yeah, I'm glad for that.
You should have seen the
When you
looks
go
on the
talk to the
kids'
kids.
faces.
Shout out to Nick
I work with
Knowledge.
kids.
Shout out to the youth empowerment.
Yeah. I work with kids.
So they do a lot of shit.
And that's beautiful. That's
That's
amazing. We need
so
to start
lit.
giving back more to these kids, because
right.
these
Good.
are our
That's right.
future. So shout out to
Little
you guys.
dumbass
Hello.
fucking kid.
What?
Damn.
Damn. For real. I was trying to be positive.
Fucking dumb as fuck.
Little
I agree.
knuckleheads. That's why we have to make an impact now and let them know that being
doubt.
cool is getting your shit together
Getting
and actually doing
focused.
stuff. Not sleeping on R. Kelly's couch for 30 days to get you a record deal. There's other ways. Any bosses that tell you that's how you gonna get it, they lying. Anybody out here that's telling you they're gonna call the cops on you and punch you in the face because you don't want to bring them to Super Bowl, leave that bitch. Just like Chris Brown's bitch. That was a lie. But this weekend in Battle Rap, if you guys are over in Staten Island, iBattle's having Crucible 3. Make sure
Crucible
y'all...
3.
Crucible.
Crucible.
I say Crucible.
Did you just say crucible?
Crucible. I don't even speak Spanish. I was like Cruci.
Yo, you always do this.
So, shout out to Lex. Make sure y'all check out that card. Also, February 9th, it's going down. URL TVs, Volume 4. And if you go back, we're going to pull a Uncle Rob. If you want to go check out our last few interviews, we had Old Red and John on separately if you want to see them talk shit about each other.
Where can they watch it at?
15 minutes of fame.
I'm gonna grab.
And then I believe the weekend after that is RBE. We'll get into that next week. And if you guys, again, like we always tell y'all, if y'all cop the pay-per-view for whatever battle, make sure y'all hit us up, take a picture of it. Let's talk about it. We'll shout you out. We definitely gonna watch it so we can have tea time next week. Yes. And you guys are always welcome because this was a very informative, educational, non-biased, real shit kind of talk today, and I appreciate that.
Facts. Yeah, definitely appreciate y'all for having us.
Yes, free the savage.
Free the Lord Savage. The 21st. That's it. Definitely. We're making a hashtag.
Yes, I think I need a shirt. Put it on a t-shirt.
What is your social media handles for our fans and our followers?
400 block on everything. Yeah, on everything.
I am _King Ali on Instagram. Well, pretty much everything, yeah.
All right.
Also, if I can get this in real quick, shout out Driven clothing line. If everybody could visit www.drivendesignandsupply.com. Get you some good clothing up there. Some fly
I want
stuff.
to check it out.
Okay.
We'll rock some on the show.
Definitely. Make sure you guys go check out their Instagrams.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's actually wearing the clothes.
Arsenal wearing Shotgun Show, my boy Show. Shout out Show.
Yeah, cut me off again.
He said he's actually wearing the clothes. Go ahead, B. Let out your shout out.
No, I'm done. What shout out?
Oh, I'm
shout out to us. Shout out to you guys for watching.
Shout out to us and happy birthday. Shout out to one of our favorite fams, Brett, who's always tuned in. Thank you for everybody.
Brett.
Happy birthday.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Shout us a holla.
Oh shit, my bad. It don't stop until I stop.
Now we gotta do like the newscasters when it's
awkward.
We're still
here.